thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Coming up tonight, residents and business owners alike are still celebrating on the island of Grand Bahama, happy for the turn the island's economy took over the weekend, signaling a new hope for residents. We speak with the president of the Port Lucaya Association on what it means for vendors. The General Workers Union upset tonight, pleading with Financial Secretary Simon Wilson to honor agreements and provisions set by those agreements and pay the workers at BAIC. The President and General Secretary join me this evening. Also tonight, tensions mounting in the F&M again. This time, the Bamboo Town Association. This after former F&M Member of Parliament Renwood Wells was denied a nomination. Now here's the big question tonight. Was Wells led to believe a nomination was forthcoming, or did he just assume? And did you watch the annual basketball game between the pastors and politicians? That was Sunday evening. It seems, just seeming like, the pastors are in better shape. That's right. They really, not only did they lead throughout, they also beat the politicians, not for the first time, in the annual Peace on the Streets event. Just a light story to put a smile on your face tonight. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you along this evening. Well, Carnival Cruise Line officially opened its $600 million private cruise destination at Celebration Key in East Grand Bahama on Saturday, welcoming some 5,000 passengers aboard the Carnival Vista, the first ship to dock at the long-awaited port. Navarre Smith, a business owner and president of the Port Lucaya Association, joins me from Grand Bahama this evening. I am so happy to have you join me, Navarre. Thank you very much for being here, and I'll tell you why I'm smiling. It really seems that Grand Bahama has finally turned that much longed for economic corner. I reached out to several business owners for an interview this evening, all of whom told me they could not spare 1 minute to speak with me on this show because they are so busy. Navarre, while I was a little peeved and say, can't you all? The point is, though, this is good news for the island and businesses and residents just overall this evening, isn't it?
Shanique, thank you so much for having me here today. And yes, it is very, very good news for Grand Bahama Island. We're all excited, hopeful, optimistic. We have a little bit more of a pep in our step right now and expecting great things to come as we go forward.
Let's talk about Saturday. Let's talk about when you all saw that ship coming into port. The fact that every T was crossed, every I was dotted, everything was in place, every worker hired, the Junkanoo set, the police band, everything was set and ready to go to welcome thousands of visitors. And then when those visitors began touching ground at Celebration Key, what was that like for Grand Bahamians to experience that and watch that happening to their island and on their island?
It was honestly a bit of a surreal moment. This was a long time coming. The president of Carnival, in a speech at the opening, said that Celebration Key was 25 years in the making.
Wow.
And so this really wasn't an overnight thing. We've had a hard run with the hurricanes here in Grand Bahama that was very disruptive to this project and many others. But through perseverance and faith and a lot of prayer, Saturday was truly the beginning of a huge turnaround point in Grand Bahama. It's a game-changing development, not only for Carnival, but for the entire island of Grand Bahama and the Bahamas as a whole. And so you would have seen people who were brought to tears of joy, of course. especially those working on the property and
They
those
were,
who
they
are.
were, listen, I saw a lot of dancing and celebration. I saw a lot of visitors from the cruise with their TikTok videos, all expressing their experience and how they felt. But there were people, Grand Bahamians, actually brought to tears.
Yeah, just as you spoke to people in the wider community, especially, and you, we've been let down so much in a way because many projects that were in the pipeline pending, we struggled here and there to get them going. We always came so close to different things and could never really pull it off for one reason or the other. But this actually what came through. You, like the politicians would say, you could see, feel, and touch it. It's a real thing. It's happening, and it's already starting to make an impact. And so, as you just moved around and you spoke, people were just excited. People just were overwhelmed with joy, happiness to know that something major finally happened and was executed for this island, considering that we were in a place of decline and stagnation for the last 20 years.
I mean,
Now,
for
we know
decades,
that one
yes.
project isn't going to solve all of the problems, but this is a great step in the right direction to get us where we need to be.
You say that it's already being felt and around the island, in fact. Give us an idea of what you mean, what you're talking about, and how this is already sort of that, just the tremors in the water that's now being felt across the island.
Sure. Now, for some reason, the sentiment and the feeling among some Grand Bahamians was that this, the economic impact from this project wasn't going to be felt outside of the key. And, you know, it was great that we have hundreds of Grand Bahamians and Bahamians employed. We're all happy for that. But they figured it would be like a traditional key off coast someplace where guests would just stay up there and do everything there.
All inclusive,
But
yes.
I can speak. Right, all inclusive. It is an amazing property. Carnival you can tell they spent quite a money to make this the ultimate fun in the sun, escape and get away. But I can speak with confidence as a excursion provider who's contracted with Carnival. I've been contracted with them from 2021 to
Okay.
provide excursions and tours to their guests. And so I can say that on day one, like now, to be honest, nobody came out of the gate with super huge numbers at this point. It's only been day 3, and they just had one ship come in. But the point is that I was able to take a group out along with other tour providers, locally owned companies, and we were able to, in my case, take them to some of the hotspots where you have clusters of local entrepreneurs, small to mid-sized businesses, such as Port Lacaya Marketplace, the downtown farmers market, Williamstown Fish Fry. I was able to move them around and get them deeper into the community.
And they stopped.
Saw firsthand.
They stopped at these areas like the fish fry and experienced some of what was there?
Absolutely. In the case of my tour and the other sightseeing experiences that went out, we took them to Williamstown Fish Fry in my case, and they were able to check out the $2 bar out there and some of the other vendors that were open. I watched them spend money and had a good time interacting with locals. And this is what a good segment they still want to get out. And here's the cool part, they can get the best of both worlds. In most cases, you can do a tour for a couple hours and you can still go back to Celebration Key and enjoy the amenities and the activities there in the same day.
Really,
and so,
Naval, I want to say to you that on Saturday, a resident of Grand Bahama was near tears, but just emotional, really. I can hear the emotion in her voice when she said, listen, Shaquille O'Neal is also here. That doesn't happen for Grand Bahama and in Grand Bahama. We don't see celebrities or elite athletes. This is how impactful it was for them to see a celebrity, an NBA all-star, superstar, walking there enjoying Celebration Key. Let's talk about how you are. You're president of the Port Lacaya Association. Let's talk about how you are getting your members ready to take advantage of what is sure to be a mushrooming effect.
Yes, it's only a matter of time. Like starting tomorrow, July 22nd, we're going to have 2 ships in. We just had 1 for the first 3 days. Tomorrow, going forward, is going to be 2. So you're talking about in the area closer to 10 to 12,000 people. And that's only going to ramp up over time. So in the case of Port Lacaya, which is still a very iconic hangout, cultural, and shopping center on the island, all of the vendors and store owners out there are doing what they can to enhance their products, enhance their storefronts, and just brush up on their operations in anticipation that we will experience an uptick in traffic as a result of Celebration Key. Carnival is also very interested in partnering with Port Lacaya and other attractions throughout the island to make sure that we feel the impact and that we give guests a local cultural experience, which many of them still desire to have. And so we're excited. We are cautiously optimistic, but we believe that over time, over the weeks and months to come, we're going to feel the difference in our bottom line, which we are all anticipating and looking forward to.
Yeah, and then obviously this coupled with all the other things that have been announced, even on this show, from your main partners, the Grand Bahama Port Authority, of what else is in the pipeline. I imagine Grand Bahama really is really now turned that corner, and we all are very, very happy and just obviously celebrating along with you.
Yes, this is a time all Grand Bahamians across the island and the country and wherever in the world, we have every reason to truly be optimistic, hopeful, and excited about the future of this island, about the economic growth potential. This isn't just about pie in the sky. It's going to come. It's about to come. Celebration Key is a shining example. It's a tangible vision was brought into reality. And as you mentioned, Shanique, we have several other projects. The hotel across the street from Port Lacaya, which was recently sold. I understand the PM is about to make an announcement very soon and give an update on the hotel. We have so many things, the shipyard and on and on and on, that are literally in the process of being executed right now. So in a couple of months, a few short years, this island is going to be transformed. It's going to go back to the glory days as we had it in the 70s and 90s, but just in a new dispensation and a new era of growth and prosperity for all those who want to participate and are prepared to put in the work. And so, yeah, we're excited. Carnival has been an awesome social and just community partner to this point. And I just want to say to all of my fellow Grand Bahamians that the misconception is there that they were just going to stay, but I just want to stress this. That's absolutely not true. I took some pictures after I did my first tour on Saturday and posted them online, showing me taking the guests out just to quell some of those concerns. And so over time, we can expect the whole community to feel it. Carnival wants that to happen based on my conversations directly with them. And here's the best part. I'm a part of a group of tour operators that it was a seamless transition from the Freeport Harbor over to Celebration Key. It's not like they said, hey, we're moving this thing to Celebration Key. Nice to know you all. Good doing business with you, but I'll see you when I see you. They brought all of us over, and they added to that. They welcomed more excursion providers, and the door is still open. They're very open to hearing about interesting and fun culturally based excursions that they can even bring into the mix. And so that's the thing to remember and to keep in mind.
That sounds great, because obviously it sounds to me like you are saying Carnival is urging people and you to start reimagining what the Bahamian experience is like, so it can be added to some cultural experience for the thousands that'll be coming on the island throughout the weeks and months and years ahead. So that's very, very awesome. Thank you for speaking with me. I look forward to continuing to share the good news from Grand Bahama. We always are very happy when various family islands are experiencing a turnaround in its economy and its people are beginning to feel better. And so I'm happy to do that and start the show on that excellent note this evening. Thank you very much, Navarre Smith, who is a business owner in Grand Bahama as well as president of the Port Lacaya Association. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, Shanique. It was a pleasure.
My pleasure as well. Well, listen, while Grand Bahama is celebrating, the employees and workers at BAIC said, give us something to celebrate. We speak with the Bahamas General Workers Union after the break. Stay close.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Call now to get more of the care you need.
Welcome to Blissful Escapes, where luxury meets affordability. Whether you're seeking relief from aches and pains or simply looking to indulge in some well-deserved pampering. Relax and detox in our infrared sauna. Enjoy a soothing Swedish massage or an invigorating exfoliating body scrub. We also provide advanced facial treatments using cutting-edge technology, including hydrofacial, microneedling, and microcurrent therapies, located at the shops of Cable Beach Plaza.
You work hard to provide for and protect the ones you love. However, life can present unexpected challenges. Who you call in times of need matters. Insurance Management is a Bahamian-owned company that has been serving our community for over 40 years, offering a wide range of coverage for all of your personal, professional, and commercial needs. When life happens, rest easy knowing that our skilled and experienced agents are there for you in your time of need, so that you can get back to what matters most. Insurance Management. Nobody does it better.
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay Eden well.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Call now to get more of the care you need.
Welcome to Blissful Escapes, where luxury meets affordability. Whether you're seeking relief from aches and pains or simply looking to indulge in some well-deserved pampering, relax and detox in our infrared sauna. Enjoy a soothing Swedish massage or an invigorating exfoliating body scrub. We also provide advanced facial treatments using cutting-edge technology, including hydrofacial, microneedling, and microcurrent therapies, located at the shops of Cable Beach Plaza.
You work hard to provide for and protect the ones you love. However, life can present unexpected challenges. Who you call in times of need matters. Insurance Management is a Bahamian-owned company that has been serving our community for over 40 years, offering a wide range of coverage for all of your personal, professional, and commercial needs. When life happens, rest easy knowing that our skilled and experienced agents are there for you in your time of need, so that you can get back to what matters most. Insurance Management. Nobody does it better.
This segment is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Well, the leaders of the Bahamas General Workers Union joined me this evening, and they're here to talk about outstanding payments since 2022 from the government for its 123 members at BAIC, which is a quasi-government corporation. You all know BAIC is linked to overall the Ministry of Agriculture and what's not, but they are really specifically talking about workers at BAIC. I want to jump into this discussion. I've seen this all weekend long with the President and Secretary General urging really the financial secretary in particular to just please honor the agreements and honor what was done and what was agreed to and the payments that are outstanding. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines, Linda Sands, who is president of the Bahamas General Workers Union, and Natanya Johnson, Secretary General. Good evening to you, ladies.
Good evening. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Please bring us up to date on what's going on. I mean, since 2022, you've been waiting on, like you said, on full payment. That means that you've received partial payment already?
Partial payment, yes.
Go ahead and tell me and the audience exactly what's happening with BAIC and this outstanding payments.
We received just a partial payment, or say half payment of the total amount, and the government has ordered this to happen since 2022. And literally this is now 2025 and we're still waiting for that to happen. This is the letter that was sent to BAIC in 2022 and it was signed by Mr. Simon Wilson. And to date, Mr. Wilson, we're asking you to kindly say when the balance of these payments are going to be made. The staff are waiting, our members are waiting, and we'd like, for those people to be happy as well, because right now they're not a happy people.
You said the government ordered that the payments be made, but
yes.
yet they were just made partially.
Yes, just partial payments were made.
Who would you say is the holdup?
Finance is the holdup.
And why? Were you given any reason why, since 2022, your members have not been paid all that's owed to them?
No reason why it hasn't been paid. Nothing was said. And so that's the reason why we're at this juncture where we had to do what we have to do. Call a press conference because nothing was done. Nobody cared enough to say to us, well, the payment is going to come. I mean, it's been a long time coming. And so to date, it still has not reached BAIC.
Well, we've had, Shanique, an opportunity to have a meeting today with the now chairman of BAIC. And in his communication today in the meeting, he would have stated that he would have spoken to finance and that they've now decided that they're working on getting the increments sorted out. However,
is this the same as the payments that are outstanding?
This is the outstanding payment currently. Okay. However, again, we cannot take that into consideration or even value those sentiments due to the fact that it's been a number of years. We have signed documentation, the letter, as Madam President would have alluded to, where Simon Wilson would have signed it. And even with him signing that letter, he still was adamant about BAIC not being entitled to those benefits. And I think that is unfair and discriminatory that now at this particular juncture, you want to use discriminatory language to now determine whether or not there's some entitlement for quasi-government workers. And it's unfair.
What do you mean determine whether or not when the letter, you already have a letter stating that?
The letter is stating that, his signature is on it, it's signed, the increase is there, it's broken down, okay? His signature, let me just show you the page where his signature is because I don't want you to just see the front page and have an idea as to someone else might have written it. But this is the letter here. Signature is right here. That he would have signed indicating that he confirms and agree that BAIC workers are entitled to this benefit.
So now what's the sort of discussion and determining whether or not they are entitled?
I think the discussion, Shani, come from what the minister would have stated in an article that was written, I think it was last week, indicating that quasi-government was not entitled to these benefits, such benefits as the increase. And I find that, again, the language in which she used was quite discriminatory because we are all public servants. We do not pay ourselves. Her argument was that BAIC's workers, we get a higher, quasi-workers rather, they make a higher salary.
They make more than the average public servant.
We don't pay ourselves, Janique. We do not pay ourselves. So why should we be
denied
what is owed to us because you
your
decide
pay
to pay
happen
us?
To be higher?
I don't pay myself. And so I find that it's unfair for you to make a decision predicated on the sole basis of my salary, which I have no control over, absolutely none. Unacceptable.
Well, let's talk about how members are being impacted by this, the members that you represent and is here speaking out on their behalf this evening. You are saying that you have been told because you all are quasi-government and your pay scale is different and higher than the average public servant, that you could wait for a moment, you're not necessarily entitled, it's maybe up to the discretion of whomever to give it to you. How are they impacted though? Especially having this outstanding since 2022.
Well, they're very much negatively impacted financially, Shanique, when it comes to that. You have members now, it's a combination of issues. And the issue here is there's so many major outstanding grievances at BAIC. We will have to do 2 segments to cover it or more.
Well, give us an example of a few.
Well, we have another issue with the staff insurance not being paid, Shanique. Not being paid from last year, October. We have mothers. We just had a COVID scare, as Madam President would have alluded to in the press, in the story on last week. And here it is, we do not have insurance. So staff have to go into their pockets now to pay for insurance. Now today, in that same meeting that I would have stated prior, the chairman now says, okay, well, we are going to reimburse those individuals who would have now paid monies out of their pockets relative to medical expenses. The question was asked, okay, Chairman, is the insurance up and running? But I can't say I buy it. We've had so many promises. We've given them 10 days, 10 days, 10 days, and now the members are tired. So you say you're going to pay the insurance, okay? The insurance now, we asked the question, one of the members asked the question, okay, Chairman, he said the monies came through from finance for the insurance to be paid. The question asked, the insurance lapse. Is it not? He said, no, it's on hold. The last time I checked, Shanique, if something is on hold, I have no access to it. So that is irrelevant. It's inconsequential. It is non-effective. It's of non-use to me. Non-effect.
All your members?
For the members, nobody. We cannot use it. He says he has to speak to CGI Atlantic now to make a determination, to find out when it will be reinstated. But if the monies were sent, then it should be reinstated effective immediately. And that's a problem for us.
Madam President, what do you want to see happen here? I mean, because this has been dragging on for quite some time. You've obviously lost confidence and faith in anybody who's speaking to you and your union and your leadership. What do you want to see happen, or what are you prepared to have happen as a result of not getting anywhere?
That's the reason why we came to the conclusion that we had to do the press conference, because they kept telling us, oh, we're going to do it, we'll do it, it's going to get done, but it's not getting done. Persons go into their pockets. We've had members call and say, listen, I would have had a procedure done that cost me $5,000 that I had to cough up, okay? And it's unfair for our members to have to cough up that kind of money just to, in order for their health reasons. Okay, we're fine with that. But when you look at the fact that they wouldn't have had to have coughed up that much if BAIC had done what it's supposed to do and pay the insurance. There's no confidence right now at this time. Just pay the money for the insurance, pay the staff for the increments that is owed to them, because we have lost confidence. And if it's not going to work, then speak the truth.
Yes.
Okay, speak the truth and come out and say to us what is going to happen. Right now, the union is the bad guys here, because we're standing up for these people. Mm-hmm. Okay, we're standing.
You feel as though you're being painted in a negative light as you are disruptors?
Yes, of course we are. Mm-hmm. Okay, but I want to say to all the naysayers that we are a part of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas Trade Union Congress, and the Congress is 100% behind the Bahamas General Workers Union. So I just put that out there for them. Okay, come on, let's do what is fair, and let's do what is right, and let's be honest while we're doing it. They're angry because we would have done it. Their actions and their attitude has displayed that to us. Mm-hmm. And that's not going to stop us, because we are here for the people.
What's the next step? Since that's not going to stop you, since you don't buy what they're saying, since you believe that you're being swinged,
yes.
What is it that you are prepared to do next to get their attention, to get your members covered with insurance, to get your members having been paid the monies that are outstanding since 2022? Yes. Then what is it that you're going to do? You're now speaking to the media, speak to the nation, appeal perhaps to Simon Wilson and his team about why this needs to be done.
You know, it's a sad day when people, you know, Bahamians are being treated this way. And so if you don't want to adhere, if you don't want to meet with us, or you don't want to speak the truth to us, then I promise you there will be industrial actions. I promise you.
When you say speak the truth, what do you believe the real story is then that they are not saying?
They're not saying it because they don't want to pay, but they want to keep us going on. We're going to pay, and so we'll see you at the next meeting. And we're going to pay, and that's not working anymore. That's a stale story.
Yeah, and I think that at this particular juncture, Shanique, as Madam President would have said, enough is enough. We want to see action. The members need to see action. And you know, it's like I said, it's so many issues. The shortage of janitorial staff, that's also a major concern. Appraisals not being done. Okay, so persons are waiting on internal increments to be paid. That has not been done.
How long has it been since they've been evaluated?
Some persons have not been evaluated since 2021. We are talking about even
Are there no supervisors there?
Some managers have not been appraised by the AGMs.
Managers are not being appraised.
And so it starts from the top and it trickles down.
Yes.
This is BAIC.
What's happening at BAIC?
You tell me. I'm hoping that we have a chairman. I'm hoping that we have a chairman who can assist in getting these matters resolved.
What, the chairman is a new chairman?
Well,
BAIC, who was there before? Who was there?
Mr. Leroy Major was there.
What was he doing all this time?
Mr. Leroy Major did some good work. Okay, he's no longer there. However, we have Darren Pickstock, who is now there, Senator Darren Pickstock. And again...
How long has he been there?
He's been there now for about maybe a year and some, I would say, right? But again, it's as if I'm trying to figure out when am I going to see the chairman. He's an executive chairman, but he's not in place.
What do you mean he's not in place? Ma'am, I think are you speaking tonight just to be mischievous?
If I see him 2 days out of the week, I see him a lot. If I see him 2 days out of the week, you see him. If you see him, I see him.
He doesn't show up to work?
If you see him, I see him.
Speak to him tonight and as we wrap up this segment.
Senator Darren Pickstock, please. We're asking and we're pleading to you to please make yourself available for the employees of BAIC so that we can have these outstanding matters resolved, sir. Please. The union has asked to meet with you on several occasions, has asked to meet with the board to rectify these outstanding issues and to no avail. Please, we're kindly asking that you make yourself available. If you're concerned about the people and the well-being of the employees of BAIC, please commit yourself to at least being in the office to get some of these issues resolved. And we'll appreciate it. Thank you greatly. Thank you greatly.
Well, you really wrapped up this segment quite nicely as well. Keep us informed of exactly how this continues to progress.
Most definitely.
And if you are making progress, most importantly. Yes. Listen, speaking of, well, the apparently residents or F&M supporters of Bamboo Town have their own questions. We'll get to that right after the break. Stay close.
As we continue to develop the orange economy of the Bahamas and empower our artists and artisans, we as a government intend to show tangible support. We are therefore requesting our Bahamian artists and artisans to submit images of their handmade, authentically made Bahamian products and prices as we move to produce a live digital booklet with Bahamian-made works. With the creation of a live booklet, artisans can always submit new works to be included. It is our intent to use this book as a catalog for the purchase of items by all senior government officials for gifts, display items, and the like. Ministers, permanent secretaries, members of parliament, and ambassadors will be supporting our orange economy by the purchase of items and in sharing this book to the wider global creative community. We are committed to grow and expand the orange economy of the Bahamas.
Win a brand new 2026 GAC MPOW every week for 5 weeks. Every 10 reward points earns you 1 digital entry. The more entries you gain, the better your chances to win. 5 weeks, 5 cars. Will you be one of our lucky winners? Catch the keys today, only at Island Luck. Island Luck reminds you that it's only a game, so game responsibly.
Tired of driving around from place to place just to get your car insured and licensed? Frustrated with the process of being back and forth from your insurance company to road traffic? Well, BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers just made insuring and licensing your motor vehicle as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1. Visit us at the Road Traffic Department, Section 1, Thomas A. Robinson Sports Stadium. At our office, you can purchase or renew your insurance or get your vehicle inspected. We at BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers represent major carriers. Step 2. See the professionals at Road Traffic to get your vehicle licensed. Step 3. Enjoy your day. Insure with BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers today, saving you time and money. Your one-stop shop for all of your insurance needs. Great rates, convenient, excellent service. For more information, call us at 322-2221.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Thank you so much for continuing to tune in. We're going to move right along. Leslie, I know as former chairman of BAIC, you have some thoughts on exactly how that works and how that quasi-government operation works. So we'll get to that in a moment. But I'd first like to introduce my panelists, Leslie Miller and Garth Rosborough. Gentlemen, good evening to you. If you can quickly give us, just very quickly, no history, just quickly give us an idea about how BAIC operates and the pay scale and how they are being told that, listen, you already make a ton of money.
You know, BAIC has been around for a long time. It was formed first as the Bahamas Development Corporation in January of 1974. It became BAIC in 1983 when the government bought a Harrisville plantation in Hatchet Bay, Lutra. Maybe it's around poultry and eggs and milk and etc. Since that time, it really has done very little to expand the economy of the Bahamas. I must say, I was the minister responsible from 2002 to 2006.
Yes.
But the salary for quasi-government corporations is always about 30% more than the other people who work for the government, the other civil servants, and it's unfair. And I think what the government is trying to do now is trying to get the public servant salary to edge up a little bit towards the salaries of quasi-government, dealing with the same set of people, with the same qualifications, and it's not fair that one group, because they work to a corporation, should be paid more. Places like BPL, hell, their salaries about 40% above. It's unfair.
But I mean, isn't the skill mandatory duties different? No, let's say BPL, for example, you brought them up.
Yes.
ZNS is a quasi-government corporation. I am sure their salary is
it would be
higher.
Much less than BEC because
BEC does something totally different that requires us it's a hazard sort of a lot of their duties. I just think that the lady said, hey, I guess working for BAIC is a privilege because included in the privilege is you make more money.
Of course.
God, you were there for a moment.
And when election coming, you could, flex your muscles and say, we want this and we want that. That's what you owe us, and you got to pay it. Now the question is, where do they generate their funds from to enable them to earn the salaries that they earn? They get it from the rent that they charge for the industrial park buildings. The government gives them a whole lot of money, comes from the public treasury. All these whole matters need to be cleared up. It's not going to be done before the election, but I think the next term in governance, these matters need to be cleared up to bring everybody on par with each other, to have parity and fairness in this country. That's what needs to be done.
Shanique, I think your questioning is fair. I do believe that Leslie Miller, that you are spot on tonight. But here is where there's a bend in the road. It's just sad to know that whenever we do, however, make agreements, that we sometimes make agreements too quickly, not understanding that we may not be able to actually please those individuals that we made the agreement with or come to some terms of negotiation. I'm just familiar with the whole idea that in the Bible, one man came to work early in the morning, another man came almost at noonday, another one came in the afternoon. and one man came at 1 hour. And the man who came for 1 hour got the same pay that the man who started first thing in the morning.
That happens every day in this country.
Yeah, and so what happens with, after Shanique's questioning of fairness in terms of, you're making an agreement, the question really is, have you gotten what you've asked for? And so if an agreement is being made that you get paid X amount for an hour, you get X amount for working from 8 o'clock, then of course that merits a discussion, Shanique Miller, and I think now's the time to really get to the bottom of that, because we are in political season, and of course this is not the type of excitement that any government would like to have on their shoulders.
I totally agree, gentlemen. We
will. You get it when you could,
We will follow up on that, but you're very right. Let's move on, though. An immigration raid bringing operations at a standstill on Norman's Key. Today, officials investigated claims of violations of the Immigration Act and other related offenses. We get the story from Linton Ritchie Jr. and come back and talk about it.
Troubles continue on Norman's Key days after some 30 employees, including expats, were terminated from the five-star destination on Friday past. Eyewitness News understands the count is now as high as 60 in what labor officials are calling a downsizing exercise. Additionally, an immigration raid reportedly took place on the luxury destination early Monday morning. Footage sent into Eyewitness News purportedly shows a dock filled with individuals who are believed to be staffers of the private key sitting side by side, guarded by uniformed immigration officers. One of those Bahamians terminated during the exercise was Jeffrey Miller. He describes himself as, quote, jack of all trades, noting the news came unexpectedly and he only had some 2 hours to pack up his life of 2 years.
Well, I have to pack up everything. I said I've been here for 2 years. I can't unpack up everything. Like it was a chaos.
Eyewitness News also in possession of termination letters sent to employees explaining that the layoffs were due to, quote, strategic business operations and necessary to ensure long-term viability and sustainability. A move sources close to the investigation telling Eyewitness News was the result of booking numbers trending downward following striking claims made by staffers of alleged mistreatment and a toxic work environment back in May. Miller says allegations coupled with the uncertainty of the development, employees felt uneasy about their future.
They never have no meetings. You got to hear things through the grapevine. They show you like you doing them a favor.
In a statement on Sunday afternoon, Labor Director Howard Thompson says the developers and their legal team recently presented a, quote, significant and persuasive plan to senior government officials for restructuring and future expansion, a move he says could bring long-term benefits for Bahamian workers. Now, Eyewitness News attempted to reach immigration and labor officials for an official comment on the recent turn of events. However, no calls were answered up to news time. Linton Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
Well, immigration officials released a statement late this afternoon and reaffirmed its commitment to the rule of law, stressing that the mistreatment and displacement of Bahamian workers will not be tolerated.
Good.
The public is encouraged to report suspected immigration violations as officers continue their efforts to protect the country's borders and labor standards. Gentlemen, very quickly, your response to what's playing out or what's played out at Norman's Key?
To me, that's almost, I just simply say dynamic, because here you have these illegals that are residing and working on Norman's Key, and the removal of such is also costing Bahamian citizens their jobs as well. Is this going to be now the play for the remainder of our country, where we have illegals and Bahamians working side by side, and when an organization finds itself in a fault, or they need to have some reprieve, then we bring in some agency to go ahead and liquefy the entire situation, and Bahamians go down the drain with those illegals. This to me, it's different.
I believe it's most unfair what has taken place. Obviously, the gentleman who was speaking said that they had this situation that happened in June, where they made complaints. Labor went and assessed those complaints, found that some things were unduly put undue pressure on the Bahamians that were there. And what the owner does, okay, you want to get tough, you send 6 of my fellas home, I'll fire down 60 Bahamians. That's what they really did. They just wait for the opportune time and say, the season is slow, so you now go home, you got 24 hours to pack, get your belongings, and you're out of here.
That's correct.
Now the ministry had to step back and say, in this country we don't allow that. You're not in Mexico, you're not in Haiti, you're not in some little small African country, you're in a civilized state that is the closest neighbor to the U.S., and we don't allow those sorts of things. These are Bahamians. You know, it amazed me. The minister over the weekend indicated that the average request for work permit is some 400 a month for people coming into the Bahamas.
Mm-hmm.
When we got over 4,000, about 10,000 Bahamians unemployed.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we need that trade school so important, because they're coming and taking jobs which they claim Bahamians are unable to do. I don't buy that. They just don't want to have Bahamians on the job. Because most of these jobs, I take you to Lightfoot Key, Old Fort Bay, any of those private enclaves, take you there tomorrow. And 80% of the staff who working out there are foreigners. But yet, Bahamians can't get jobs.
You sure? Listen, I didn't want to get into the...
I say again, we have to train our people to take these jobs that foreigners are taking.
I don't want
so
to
it's
get
up to the government and the private sector to step forward and do it. That's all I got to say.
I don't want to make this a Bahamian work and work ethic and skills. And
Well, I know we got bad work ethic, I accept that.
I don't want
But you got to train them, eh? You got to
talk-
start somewhere. You got to train them.
Yeah.
You know?
Let's start with this one. Tensions are mounting in the Free National Movement tonight after a veteran politician's hopes of re-entering frontline politics were dashed. That leaving his supporters inflamed. Jose Etienne has the story on what the constituency and supporters of Renwood Wells hoped for and what actually happened.
The Bambootown constituency is an all too familiar territory for former parliamentarian Redwood Wells, who was hoping to be re-elected in the next general election after being voted out in 2021. After serving this constituency for nearly a decade, Wells felt as though he still had more left in the tank, but his party had other plans. And now that he's been reportedly shrugged off by party officials, an executive in Wells's camp isn't mincing words, voicing her objections loudly and clearly.
A grave mistake.
Bambootown Constituency Association Chairman Monique Seymour reprehending F&M executives following their reported decision to deny Wells a nomination and select former Senator Heather Hunt as candidate for Bambootown, an area Wells classed for 2 consecutive terms with hopes of returning. She says what's inciting her disappointment is a candidate pick that blindsided her entire team.
We was fooled because in February of this year, February 1st, we had a meet and greet. The headquarters, the PR team, they helped us with the invitation. That came from our head office. Then we had meetings where Chanel Ferguson spoke, Marvin Deem spoke, even Michael Pentard spoke.
To many political pundits, Wells' denial may not come as a surprise, given that he publicly endorsed former Prime Minister Dr. Hewitt Minnis, Michael Pentard's rival, during the party's convention last year. A year later, both men have been denied nominations.
We know it's because he openly said he's going to support Dr. Minnis, as well as the Bambootown Association. We never hide that.
F&M Chairman Dr. Dwayne Sands, however, challenging those claims, telling the Tribune that there is no spite and victimization in the party while maintaining that the leadership's decision must be respected. Nonetheless, Seymour has sharp criticisms for her party's pick for Bambootown.
Heather has never won anything in the F&M, other than being deputy chairman.
Now, party insiders also seem to be taking a shot at Seymour, suggesting that she was pushing an agenda that didn't have the backing of her executives during a confidential meeting on Friday where she raised her objections.
One person said that they are F&M, and that's the only reason why they're sticking to staying. But the rest of the person said it's Mr. Wells or nothing. We left that meeting.
Seymour's gripe points to growing frustrations among Constituency Association members who say their voices are being muzzled as executives make decisions.
Jamal Morse was walking in South Beach. Darren Henfield was in Abaco. The people run him, so they came and they just threw him in South Beach.
No official announcement has been made on Hunt receiving the party's nod, but these developments come as the F&M is gearing up to release its second pool of candidates. Now, the incumbent member of parliament here is House Speaker Patricia DeVoe, but it is unclear on whether or not she will throw her hat in the ring once again.
You saw that story, what's happening in Bambootown. To me, another unnecessary fight, a row at this point in the game. Now, I wondered, I really hoped to have Renwood Wells here this evening because I wanted to know, was he being presumptuous and thinking he would get a nomination and now just being disruptive because he didn't. But according to the lady in Jose's story a moment ago, I think Monique Seymour, they were encouraged basically, by the support they had gotten a few times since the beginning of the year.
They were duped.
That, listen, hey, this very well could happen.
They were duped.
Your thoughts on how that's played out from then to now? And then what she's saying basically that they ended up walking out, and I don't know what she means by one person said they F&M, but the rest saying. But your thoughts?
I heard Leslie speaking, so I guess he's waiting on me now.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the whole play for the Free National Movement. Dr. Hubert Alexander Minister was vying for Kalani. The association said that they wanted him, and the organization, the Free National Movement leadership said no, while the people said yes. The same thing for, like she said, Ms. Seymour, South Beach, Jamal Moss. The association said yes. The organization leadership said no. We're looking at Bamboo Town now, where Reverend Wells, the association is saying yes, and once again the organization is saying no. And then we're hearing about people vacating their chances in Elizabeth, vacating their chances in Seabreeze, and they're running for the hills. Wanting to vacate St. Barnabas, running for the hills. The people are asking for what they want, and the organization is saying no. What is really truly going on in the Free National Movement, Shanique Miller? Well, if the organization continues to tell these people no, and the citizenry says yes, then what do you want them to vote for? Do they vote for the organization, or do they vote for their rejected candidate? This is going to be an ongoing saga.
But surely every rejected candidate is not going to go and run as an independent. We don't even know if Wells is.
Well, according to Ashley Miller,
that's just the wishes
there's some
of that.
circulation that you may just simply have a grouping of rejects, and those rejects may not want to win. They may simply just want to disturb the chances of the Free National Movement winning the next general election.
You know, this is another prime example of the spite and hatefulness that emanates at the top echelon of the Free National Movement at this time. Now you tell me, why is it that a man like Renford Wells, who was a minister in the government, only because he support Dr. Minnis, just like our other good buddy, the Minister of Works, who again was kicked to the sidelines.
Desmond Bannister.
Desmond Bannister. Good man. There's too much hatred in the leadership. I said, I'm very afraid. A big grown man like me is afraid of the leadership of the Free National Movement. What they do to Albert Bahama, if they can hate their own, I'm dead serious.
Question, Leslie.
This is the first time in my life, and I've been around over 50 years in frontline politics, that I'm scared of the leadership of that party.
Is it wise, since they say the reason, or she believes the reason, and you believe the reason is the fact that here Renford Wells openly supports Dr. Minnis.
Yes.
Is it wise for Michael Pintard to want a Renford Wells anywhere around his table?
What table? He isn't God.
I understand your question, Shanique Miller, and Renford Wells is a threat. I've known Renford Wells from 1986, R.M. Bailey class of 87, so he and I were schoolmates.
Right.
I'm also familiar with Renford Wells when he was the leader of the NDP along with Andre Rollins, and he and I sat on Guanahani Circle, and I encouraged Renford Wells to join the PLP, which he did. So he and I, we have a history. And of course, you know, my apartment building is in Bamboo Town, and Renford Wells knows me extremely well and my location. And I've encouraged him through the years, and there are some faults that he does have locally in the community where people are a bit dismayed about his past performance, but this you cannot deny, Shanique Miller. His resume is extremely long and successful. For the short stint of time, some 10 years, if you look at what he has done in accomplishments, it is simply stellar. It's
so
amazing.
You're saying Michael Pintard should put aside any little feelings.
He cannot.
And any little loyalty that he feels Wells still has for Minnis, which should look good because that means he could be loyal to you as well.
The humanity
and move forward with what would be seen as a winning team.
My friend who I tease and I say is testicular fortitude. If you see him coming towards the F&M, Pintard knows his leadership is in trouble. Dr. Sands knows any future aspiration is in trouble. Shannon Cartwright knows they're in trouble. Renford Wells, if you allow him into the Free National Movement at this time and possibly winning, you're going to upset the whole apple cart and you're going to have a whole new leadership conversation in the Free National Movement. There's certain people you just cannot allow back into the organization in fear that if they enter in, the leadership is going to actually change its face.
You know, it is so sad that in the year 2025, celebrating our 52nd anniversary, that you have this mentality that emanates from grown men and women who would wish to lead this country into what, oblivion? You can't have hate and spite at the top echelon of an organization and expect the people to follow you, man.
Not only hate and spite,
Stop the
Betty,
hate.
It's also a fear factor involved
Stop
as
the
well.
hate, man.
It's a fear factor, you know.
Stop the hate. Yeah, but you can't hate people. All right? Ministers did some wrong. People said the election, they probably hate him if he had gone to their door to door. But you can't hate him to that much that you hate all those who are associated with him.
But everyone is not
That's
associated.
not right.
Everyone is not associated with ministers. I'm hearing that they want to vacate Southern Shores and send Southern Shores to Elizabeth or to Seabreeze.
Yeah.
I'm hearing that
my
friend Senator Reuben Ramming,
Yeah.
I heard his name circulated for Elizabeth or Seabreeze. So the mere fact that we heard that, Shanique, guess what? I'm now understanding that Dr. Sands ain't running Elizabeth. And I understand that they can't find anyone who wants to run in Elizabeth. Shannon Cartwright, he has a history in Clifton, where there's Mount Pleasant. He also has a strong history in Elizabeth, and he's not going into Elizabeth. So my question right now, Shanique, as you would notice, the Free National Movement is in trouble. They are on the run. Everything is upside down. Hate is just something simple, Leslie Miller. Right now, you look at the fear factor that if I do not do what I have to do to secure myself, then my political career is going to be complete and done.
Got to have compassion and humanity, man. You can't go around hating people. Because what you do to being people if you win. The little fellow who can't help himself, you'll slaughter him. You'll treat him like a dog. I don't appreciate that, man. It scares me.
Gentlemen, I thank you both very
Scare the hell out of
much.
me.
I thank you both very, very much. I wanted to ask you, in the minute or so that we have remaining, the wonderful celebration that was Grand Bahama this weekend, and the fact that those residents, you heard the gentleman who I met for the first time earlier today in advance of tonight's interview. What do you think about how residents are feeling, how business owners are feeling, how the fact that they're now having to imagine new businesses based on everything that's on tap?
Well, it simply is a ray of hope for the continuing building of Grand Bahama. As the gentleman said earlier, Mr. Smith, it's a step in the right direction. We are encouraged by it. Shanique, I know that you and your program Beyond the Headlines has stood with the Grand Bahama people all the way, exposing the needs of the people of Grand Bahama. And I'm almost certain that through your conversation, that encouragement has been given to those people who can now invest in Grand Bahama, and through your program they can see the opportunities of Grand Bahama. It will not be an easy road. There will be people who see the opportunity, some will feel as if they're left out, but I do believe Shanique Miller tonight is saying to them, if you just simply hold on, better things are ahead.
You know, it's really a wonderful feeling what is going on in Grand Bahama, on Freeport in particular, with the opening of that wonderful park that was just created. I always felt that the second city need to be reignited. The second city need to put a group of men and women together with the vision on the foresight that's George had to get Freeport back together. Because it's the closest to the seaboard of the United States. It could be a fabulous place like it used to be. We just got to keep fighting and keep working together as a team to bring Freeport to what it used to be. The magic got to come back to Freeport. And I thank God for that project that emanated over the weekend. It's a wonderful, wonderful experience. And I hope that all Bahamians appreciate it and do the right things. Don't be fighting and acting rude and disrespectful of tourists. You know, show respect to each other, please.
Show respect to each other, absolutely, and grow, you know, take the opportunity, because there are many Grand Bahamians who are doing just that. Every business owner I reached out to, they were Grand Bahamians, and I was happy to hear them say, Shanique, we can't talk right now. We would love to give you an interview, but we can't speak this evening. We got to make this money. So many are taking advantage of it. The rest of you, catch up. I thank you all so much, of course, at the top of tonight's show, Navarre Smith from Grand Bahama joining us live. Thank you very much. In the middle of tonight's show, of course, those are the union that represents BAIC's workers wanting to have whatever that's owed to them paid up, including the insurance. And of course, in this segment, the panelists Leslie Miller, Garth Rosborough, giving it just and calling it like it is, like how they see it on all of the stories that had your attention today. And of course, I thank you very much for all of you for tuning in this evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. I enjoyed having you along and look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow evening. For the entire Beyond the Headlines team, I'm Shanique Miller. Make it a great evening, everyone.